Supply chains are the foundation for military weapons system sustainment and ultimately success in combat. At the base level, we rely on supply chains as our life source. But when the supply chain doesn't deliver, we are sidelined with no options. A new, intermediate level manufacturing entity will build more resilient supply chains, ready to meet the demands of today and the future. For this competition, Team Seymour decided to deep dive into the F-15E stab actuator problem due to its rank as the #1 MICAP over the last 36 months. The stab actuator is a complex part consisting of over 346 piece parts from a single manufacturer. The manufacturer is not producing units due to a lack of piece parts. Even after 36 months as a top MICAP driver, the estimated get well date is November 2022. From the Air Force supply chain, there are currently 93 stab actuators at depot waiting for rebuild, but the depot is also constrained by piece part availability. Current depot turnaround for a stab actuator is 72 days. To solve this problem, we propose an organic, intermediate level manufacturing entity within the Air Force, complete with full authorities to rapidly manufacture single unit, low batch, and problematic parts. This Air Force manufacturing skunkworks has pre-approved authorities, talented machinists, engineers, and legal professionals. It has equipment and tools for quality control and first article testing capability, and will be connected with OEMs, academia, the enterprise, and work directly for the field, free of bureaucracy. This manufacturing skunkworks will leverage advanced manufacturing technologies such as computerized numeric controlled machinery, such as fully automatic drills, bores, and lasers, additive manufacturing such as 3D printers, which mechanically layer source materials to produce products, and metamorphic manufacturing, commonly known as robotic blacksmithing. This technology uses computers and sensors to measure and control the thermal properties of a material in order to form and heat treat to produce a desired end product. These technologies are currently being developed at Ohio State University. Ultimately, an Air Force manufacturing skunkworks will provide the capability to react rapidly to chronic aircraft parts issues.
At Seymour Johnson, we've been developing supply chain models that show where we're currently at and where the Air Force supply chain could be in the future with our proposed manufacturing skunkworks entity. In order to understand the stab actuator from a supply perspective, we map the current supply chain using real data. For every 3 stab actuators Seymour sends to depot, only 1 gets returned. With no units produced by industry, we quickly run out of parts. Our next model includes our proposed manufacturing skunkworks entity. For this model, we've chosen Nellis Air Force Base, Nevada and Norfolk, Virginia as our manufacturing facilities, who are building piece parts for the stab actuator using advanced manufacturing technologies. With the data we were able to obtain and the forecasted capabilities of our manufacturing skunkworks, this supply chain is continuous and sustainable without being solely dependent on industry. The operating environment is changing. In General Barry's paper, Persistent Logistics, he details how logistics will be under attack and urges for more resilient supply chains. Furthermore, he makes the case for leveraging advanced manufacturing technologies such as additive manufacturing. Title 10 of U.S. Code 2464, titled Core Logistics Capabilities, mandates that the Department of Defense must have capabilities necessary to maintain and repair weapon systems. This core capability falls on the depots, which are currently struggling to keep up with the Air Force's aging fleet. Our manufacturing skunkworks entity is the answer to this problem, and now is the time to close the gap between depot and the field with an intermediate level manufacturing capability. In closing, while investigating the F-15E stab actuator problem, we found a fragmented supply chain that is currently not meeting the Air Force's needs. Through this process, we became more versatile logisticians, ready to bring disruptive change to the Air Force and reshape supply chains of the future.